We're
good.
Yes, we are going.
all right, awesome. Let me pull it then. All right, so I'm gonna call the regular board meeting to order. We already did the pledge, so we are gonna move on from there. Roll call again, noting absence of Mr. Hernandez. We're gonna move right into it. I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of May 9th, 2022 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt, yes. Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the regular board executive session meeting minutes of May 9th, 2022 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was that? You? You? And then Ron?
Yes.
Okay, Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the Personnel Committee executive session meeting minutes of July 19th, 2021, the Special Board executive session meeting minutes of August 4th, 2021, and the Special Board retreat executive session meeting minutes of August 30th, 2021 remain closed.
Second.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the destruction of the regular executive session meeting recording of August 12th, 2020, regular executive session meeting recording of September 14th, 2020, regular executive session meeting recording of October 14th, 2020, the special board executive session meeting recording of November 4th, 2020, the regular executive session meeting recording of November 9th, 2020, the regular, or special board meeting executive session meeting recording of November 10th, 2020, and the regular executive session meeting recording of December 14th, 2020.
So moved. Second.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the June 2022 and additional bills, expenses and additional bills as presented, noting the extra in your packet.
So moved. Second.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, and Mr. Peters is not here, so we have a wonderful substitute.
That substitute's gonna say it's in your packet. You're welcome to take a look at it. However, I do wanna note on the back side, your first real estate distribution was received of just shy, a little bit under 900,000. So, we're gonna start seeing some money coming back in. So, other than that, there it is.
Any questions? Okay, just a motion to approve treasurer's report as presented.
Second.
Okay, Herman,
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. Having received no public comment requests, I do have one that I asked to read, just because I love, positive things. And I had already sent this on, but I had asked the person who sent this. Her name is Jennifer Prinz, and she had written me after the Olympic Day. So I just wanted to share that. Dear Beecher School Board members, today was our first Olympic Day as BES parents that we were able to participate in as spectators. What a great day for the kids. Everything was so well organized, and the teachers, staff, PTO members, and volunteers were absolutely amazing. We know today was a core memory day for our son and for us parents, and for us as parents too. And we wanted to take a moment to recognize and thank BES for their hard work and dedication to making school a positive experience and environment for the kids. Sincerely, Matt and Jennifer Prince of Beecher. Just one addition. Okay. So moving into staff reports. Dr. Kwasny?
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
So very close to you.
Right?
I just wanted to share a couple of, I'm scared this is awkward, but understand. I just wanted to share just a couple end of the year activities that went really well. The 8th graders went on our first Navy Pier Odyssey trip. It was awesome. It was a perfect day. The kids had a great time. Food, dancing. They had a professional picture that was taken. That turned out really nice. They got it when they returned. So it was a very, very fun afternoon. We had our awards ceremony towards the end of the year. We also had outdoor activities and yearbook signings. Our students had the opportunity to tour the high school, and then our 5th graders, we invited them to tour our school and have a step-up day, so that was great as well. And we had our Brookfield Zoo trip, and I just have to give a shout out to the PTO for all of their donations. They donated a lot of different outdoor activities for our end of the year fun day, and the kids just loved it. Because, you know, they love all the things that they have in PE, but it's always fun to have new things. And so they donated, there was a huge Jenga and disc golf, ping pong, backyard volleyball, Jumbo Connect 4, and then some kind of fun new games that I had never even heard of, so the kids had a great time. And then I wanted to move on to some of our handbook changes. And they're pretty minimal. It's more just so kind of cleaning up a few things. For example, putting into the document what we're already doing, just to offer a little bit more transparency. So a couple of the things are just, you know, what do we do for 4th quarter or for 4 tardies? What is the consequence, instead of just saying, you know, it's level 1, well, what does that mean? So we just put in what it is on the lunch detention. It's just progressive lunch, and then we do 4 more after school. So it's minimal things like that. The only major thing, and then quarterly bonus activities, for example, it says 5 absences, but it's only if they're unexcused. So we're not gonna penalize students for, you know, having an excused absence. So just putting that in there so it's a little bit more clear. The only 2 changes are consistent with the other buildings. Nicole, Mike, and I met in regards to just making sure that the language is the same, because I think sometimes when parents call in, they're in terms of absences, if it's not worded the exact same way, even if it's the same policy, it's a little bit confusing, especially if you have kids at different buildings. So one of them is for the prearranged absences, and that is if a student is going to be out of town and they know ahead of time, you know, they fill out the form for the school, and then we can get work together if they would like ahead of time, and then those are unexcused. So we just put in here a little bit, to make it a little bit more clear, we put that you can do that one time, which is in there, but it's not really bulleted, and then how many days, and that would be up to 5 days they can use that. And they don't roll over, so if you only use 2 of those days, you can't have a second one, and I think that's really confusing because people kind of assume I have those 5 days, but it's for one excursion, whether it's a vacation, one and done, exactly. So we just kind of reworded that, and then we're gonna have the exact same phrasing in all 3 handbooks, just to make it a little bit more clear. And then the other part is mental health and excused parent medical days. That was another thing where we were including that this year, but that was a change through the state that we included, so it was a policy that we were following, but it wasn't stated in there as mental health days in our handbook, because that was after the school year had already started. So we just made that clear in there. It doesn't change the amount of days the students get, it's just that they're worked in for those 5 excused paramedical days as well. So that's something that the 3 schools will all have the same language in there for that as well. So did anybody have any questions about that or anything else? All right. That's it. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Meyer.
Hello, hello. Like they said, May was an unbelievably, as all of you know, incredibly busy month. If it was prom, if it was graduation, if it was the awards and all that. Great time to recognize people, great time to have a good time. And I think that everything went fairly well, I think, in May. We even got complimented by the people at the prom saying, you know, how appropriate our kids were, and, you know, like, oh, just one of the things that bothered me, and it's stupid, but, you know, throw in some of the light things that they get that you break, like how, I don't know what they're called, those, whatever they're.
Glow sticks.
Glow sticks, thank you. Everybody throw in all those things, and it just irritated me, but the ladies were like, you have no idea. That was so fine compared to some of the weddings that we have here. Your kids were extremely tame, and I'm like, but I'm, you know, someone's gonna get hit in the butt, but yeah, that was the worst thing.
Those can be
But it
ways.
was great. It was great. They did a wonderful job all the way around. So yes, so that was a lot of stuff in there about the May month. A couple of my handbook changes, what I'm looking at is Dr. Gaham started some of the honors track the staying, the going, it's in the handbook, but it's like this long, it's wordy, it's cumbersome, and so we're trying to clean up the language a little bit. So Dr. Gaham started with the AP stuff last year, and so we tried to clean up some of the AP and then the honors track, and then if you're not in the honors track, if you want to be a regular but you want to go to the honors track. So these are just some of the bullet points. We thought it's pretty cut and dried, it's easier to read, it's not the 4 or 5 paragraphs that we already have in the handbook. So that was something that we did there. Also, what our Bravo, the leadership team, talked about is semester test exemptions for non-seniors. Now, with that, the seniors don't have to take it the first semester or the second semester, depending upon grades and depending upon absences. So now the 9, 10, and 11th graders, they would take first semester because I think they do need to take it just to practice it, just to know what's going on. But we thought, let's incentivize them to do the work, bust your rear end, do the right thing, get good grades, and then you can bail out of the second semester test. Now, we were asking that they both have A's in 3rd and 4th quarters. That's already higher than what the seniors have to have. They only have to have B's and above. So we thought that was still, again, is it gonna be 15 kids? I don't know, but just the fact of if people will motivate themselves to do that and not have the absences and still get the great grades, they're probably gonna get an A on the semester test anyway, so why not reward them anyway? That was our thought. So that was the second one. And then Dr. Quasi talked about the prearranged absences, mental health days. And the last two kind of have to do with Prairie State College. Just talking with Steve, talking with the office, talking with some of the Bravo team as well. It's not in the handbook, but I think it's if you passed, you got half your tuition reimbursed. So I was just asking, what about C or above for tuition reimbursement? This year we had some Fs, which is, I believe, never happened before. We had 1 D, so it affected 1 kid this year if we wouldn't have, everybody else had C or above. But I just thought, I think, C is still average, we're still giving half your stuff back. So that's what I just wanted to, be able to put in the handbook. And the last thing, not doing it next year, because we've already given the information out to kids. But I just think, right now we rent the books. So right now, we just paid $6,000 to rent these books, that we don't get that money back. And again, I'm not saying it's all about the money, but I just think if they're responsible for their books, so to me, it's like, we're buying their books for them, plus if they get good grades, we're paying them half their tuition back. And again, all wonderful, appreciated, I just think somewhere down the line, but again, maybe I'm wrong, I just think more accountability maybe toward the kids and toward that stuff for the parents. I don't know, I just think it's like we're throwing away $6,000 every year just
Plus, they can
renting
sell
books.
them back then, right?
Correct, they could, they
And
could do whatever they
that was
want.
the way that I got a bonus, I think.
I don't know.
Because you
And-
keep them nice, and then they're incentivized for that too.
And they can rent them too. right?
Correct.
Yeah, and they can.
And 100%, and the problem that we're having in the office is we're trying to, we say a week in advance, books need to be back, books need to be back, they have to be back by, because we have to take them, or we have to owe an unbelievable amount of penalty because they're late being returned. And then they don't care, it's not on them, but it kind of is. So it's just, I just think, again, not next year, but it would be for, I just wanted to lay that out there, just thinking, this is what I'm thinking, that it's not for next year, because we've already talked to those kids, we're already gonna do the normal, but I was thinking 23, 24, with buying whatever is on them. And again, I'm more than happy, I like that reimbursement to get good grades, I like that, but buying the books or renting the books and doing all that stuff, I just, man, again, I grew up in the wrong era, so.
And
but I
what,
probably wouldn't afford
what
it.
is the Bravo team?
It's just my leadership team. Because it begins with B,
Yeah,
so Bravo,
go.
so, because it's just military stuff that I don't know. I didn't join, but I like the military stuff, so,
Okay, I
sorry.
like
Whiskey
it, I like
Tango
it.
Bravo.
Whiskey Tango Bravo. Yeah,
I
I
don't
like
know.
it. Creating that sense of team.
Come on, big B, so it's B, so what goes with B that can be on my leadership team? Bravo.
Well, the incentive was always a C or above.
See, but it's not in the handbook, so that's why,
Okay.
but we gave Ds we gave money back to people that have Ds, and we are this year, because it's not in the handbook. I just wanna make sure it's in the handbook.
Ooh.
But what was it agreed upon by the Board of Education?
C or above.
No, it was
but no, it was
passing.
passing.
I remember
Passing.
the argument, it was passing, I remember it.
And I would like to bump that up a
It
little
was
bit.
passing, he's got no credit. Otherwise.
I mean, everything in life, for
The
me to get
C-
reimbursed for my classes,
The C is
it's a
AP.
C, C or above, I mean, that's how it is in
That's
the
how
real
you-
world.
Yeah, and in AP, yeah, right, with AP, if you get a 2, you get 25%, 3, you get 50%, 4, you get 75%, 5, you get 100% back.
That's all.
I'm all good with that, that's great too, but I did, come on, see? Come on.
I like that idea.
Just our thoughts.
Interesting. Okey doke.
Anything else?
2 things.
Yes?
Marla has already answered, and this is just for people who watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
The tuition reimbursement, when will the checks be?
Marla,
But
you answer
Marla,
that?
what was the date again? Just to clarify.
The 20th,
okay.
this week, but
Thank you,
a
Mark.
week
Sorry,
from
Mark.
today,
Okay.
that week
Yeah.
is our
And will they
plan to
be
get
mailed,
those.
or can parents pick them up?
If you want to pick them
I
up,
would say
you
just
can,
call
but
it,
they
yeah.
would be mailed normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Save postage.
Yeah, I would urge if you wanted to be picked up, that you
Call the
notify
office.
Mr. Meyer in the high
Yep.
school office.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, let us know.
Otherwise, they'll mail it.
Okay.
Yep, because sometimes you guys can't, yeah, we're 7 to like 2:30 or 2.
Okay,
so
and yearbooks? Do you-
they'll come out next, probably, I don't think that they
Probably
will
in
be
the
done.
fall again?
I would assume so,
Because
yeah,
they're
because
always
she
like-
just took pictures for graduation, so I'm hoping all that stuff is in there
So-
with that. So I would, yeah, someone else called, I think, today.
Friendly
about-
reminders.
As my daughter's a freshman this year, do you do like a yearbook signing party or anything like in the high school?
We have, not that I know
We always have one at my
of,
school.
no.
I was just wondering.
But when.
Fun little open gym.
It depends on when they get back here, quite honestly, because like the first week of school, or maybe it's the second week, we take every group into the old gym and talk about new rules and new stuff. I mean, if it's back before we have those meetings,
Yeah.
maybe there's, 15 minutes or 20 minutes to do something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Gaham.
Yeah, I figured I'd give you guys an update on how things are going over at the elementary. As you walked into here, you saw some stuff already on the ground there. They put up the first unit in the den, so if you walk into the den, you'll see an AC unit already sitting up there. Lots of people have been on our roofs here at the high school, at the elementary. The movers came in, they were done by were they done by Friday? So we're all good there. They are done with everything except for the floor in the multi-purpose room because they had some problems with the mastic. So while they waited for the grinder to be ordered, they started moving in on the tile floor everywhere else. It's coming up like magic. They should be done on time. So fingers crossed that we're still good to go on terms of that. So one of the things we will have to do, this is down the line a little bit, is in that multiple purpose room, what it does is once we remove the ceiling, it's now exposed wood rafters. And so per code, we have to put a 30-minute fire up there. So we're hoping to get it done this summer, but if all this other work gets in the way, yeah. So they'll be coming down the pipeline as well. So those are kind of the big things. I'm sorry. Oh, so those are kind of the big things in terms of the elementary. I'm very happy with the progress that's been made so far. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Also registration, it's online. It's, I mentioned in your packet, we're gonna do an in-person one once it opens up. That way if families wanna come in. It's that July 18th. That Thursday, we will have evening hours. So all of the ladies will stay here at that evening as well to make sure anybody who needs to come in for help. We did move it to July this year. I know in years past we've had it in May, June. The problem is if I register in May, I still have my old year and new year fees there, and it became very cumbersome on the ladies in the office, very confusing. So nice clean slate. So July 18th we'll open it up and ready to go. Any other questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Policy 2250, we had 3 FOIAs this month. All 3 were satisfied.
Any questions for Dr. Gaham?
I can? Yeah. So President Pappas did send me an email earlier today, and she has asked me to kind of address what we do as school security around here, obviously with some of the things that's happening in the world. And so what I would say is if we're reacting as a school district to something that's happened, we're already behind the ball. As you guys know, 3 years ago, when I became high school principal, we brought in Beacon, and they did the EBRS training, and we brought them back every year to do some kind of retraining. This past year, we actually integrated the elementary into it a little bit. We are not a sit in the corner and hide kind of school anymore. We are a, EBRS stands for Escape, Barricade, Resist. And so we are training our staff, and At the older levels, we've started to integrate it into the student body. We're still a little hesitant, especially since the elementary's new, but we're looking to kind of integrate the elementary students into it on how to respond appropriately if we know something's happening in the school, whether that's if we escape to our rally points, we barricade with what we have in our school or what we have in our room, how we barricade those doors, how we make sure that we're safe, and then if we need to resist, we've been trained by EBRS to, if there's a stapler nearby, you have a stapler in your hand and you're waiting for that person to walk through the door, saving as many lives as we can. If you look at what happened in Texas, I depends on what news network you watch, I get it. A lot of what you're hearing coming out of there was external forces not doing what they were supposed to do. And you're hearing a lot of the heroes are the people inside those schools. And so we're continuing to train our staff in regards to EBRS training, and I did put a call out to Craig Zahar, he might be on vacation, so we're already getting ready to set something up for this year as well.
And then, you know, I had a lot of community members reach out and everything, and as a teacher myself, this is always, it's very heavy on my mind and everything, and this is, it's just been impacting me. Can you just speak to about, like, you know, how at every school, how there's, you know, ID checks and with the cameras and the double entry and stuff? And that was implemented before, but also strengthened through Beacon?
Correct. So again, you know, when I came in, I was told I couldn't tell you how many keys we have. That was actually a line that was given me. I couldn't tell you who has a key at this community. So we rekeyed it. So now there's only one entry point when it comes to citizens. Coaches, obviously, and staff can use 2 entry points. I think there's 2 codes at your building. And then the junior high, you have 1, I think. So the junior high, we didn't have to address the key situation because it was relatively new.
Yeah, there's one that I have.
2, thank you. So we now have funneled everybody through the main offices. Those main offices, with the exception of the junior high, but you guys have that door. There is a double set of doors. You have your front doors, and then you have a second door you have to be buzzed through in order to get there before you have access to the building. The nice thing is at the junior high, they literally will have to go into the office before they get anywhere else. At both the elementary and the high school, they kind of go around. So it's one of those things, but our staff has been monitored, obviously, to go through the doors. They don't just kind of carte blanche let people in. They do the Raptor system, so if you come in, you have to present your ID. They do a quick little check to make sure that you aren't on some kind of list you shouldn't be on. And then in general, if it's like an IEP or meeting or something like that, we actually have the people come and meet you. Or if it's if someone needs to meet Mike Stanula, if Mike can't come and meet him, Meyer will say, all right, I'll walk you down there. So we always make sure somebody is walking. The only difference might be is if somebody comes to residency, we'll allow family to walk down the hallway.
And HVAC will also help with that because you won't have any other openings.
You got it.
Because, I mean, that was an issue before I went to the elementary and it's been so hot in there, they've had to open the doors before. And I've been like, years ago, but
Yes.
years ago,
Yeah.
but I was like,
And you're right,
I
that's
don't feel
another,
safe.
that was another really bad habit that
Yeah.
the district as a whole had, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's because, it's hot, we're gonna open every door we can. Well, we can't do that anymore. And we've even had conversations with our contractors, if there's kids in the building, we're not propping doors open. If you're standing there, you're holding the door, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
But if you're walking away to do work, that door becomes closed, as long as kids are in this building. So.
Great. And I totally believe in Beacon. I really love that program. I think that it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know if, do we have any way of knowing if a door does the office know if the door is left
Breach.
open?
Or left open.
Left open, I mean, outside the fact that you can see it on the cameras. No, but we have, like in the morning, we have staff that walks around and makes sure that they're all closed and locked.
And most, I know at my building, the cameras, we can put a certain number of cameras up. And I know my office staff is really good about the back doors that the kids always go outside for recess. That's where the cameras that's up all the time for them to see and access really the front doors. But those doors that are used throughout the day are one of the non-moving cameras that are up.
Okay.
For them to look at and monitor.
And Joe confirmed with me, we do have the police department, we have provided the police department access to all 3 building camera systems.
Correct.
So
Okay.
so the police department can look at our cameras at any time they
Oh, I
want,
like that.
so.
Okay. Well, thank you for going over that. I know
course.
that,
I had one other thing. When several years ago, at the conference, there was a presenter there with the active shooter pull switches, which at the time was very expensive. But maybe it's not
I know.
so.
I'm guessing this bipartisan bill that they've started to talk
Is
about,
going to
they're probably gonna
allow-
provide schools some money. I don't wanna speculate how much, but my guess is there's gonna be some money
Okay.
available to school districts.
So, and like, things like that, like, you know, if we could look into if that is, you know, a possibility, I mean, of course, referendum coming, but if there's, especially if there's state money, like, I was impressed with some of the things that are out there, and just, you know, thinking about what I would have access to in my classroom or not, or fears that we have, that's one of them, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you.
Of course.
And, yes, maybe I'll be safe. Mrs. Black, thank you.
So, just like at the other schools, we had some fun end of the year activities. We had
I'm
to
sorry, I couldn't make the
reschedule.
dunk tank.
It's okay. We had to reschedule some of those activities based on weather, but we were able to get in all of the picnics and Olympic Day, South Day, and of course, you know, the coldest day of all, dunk tank day. So that was great.
That's great.
I did get dunked 45 times. I feel like because the water was so cold, it helped because I really wasn't that sore the next day, which is surprising because clearly working out isn't my thing. So. But that was fun.
Oh, thank you.
Also, you know, we didn't have a lot of teachers offering to do summer school, but we did have some ESSER funding left that we were able to get a few teachers who were interested in tutoring. So we offered about around 20 students, it might have been a little bit less, maybe 18 or so, the opportunity to come in once a week and have tutoring. And
That's
we
a
have
great
13 students who are coming in and taking that opportunity. So it's not quite the same as summer school, but we do have some students who are
No
getting
learning loss.
some of those needs met during the summer. And then as far as handbook changes, in addition to what has already been talked about, there are a couple other things. One of the things that wasn't really pointed out very well in our handbook was our makeup work policy. A lot of those things, again, as we had talked about, were just things that we were always doing. We knew when a student was gone, they get about the number of days they were gone plus one. If they're missing tests or big projects, those assignments are being changed and rearranged, so it's something that makes sense for them to make up. So we just put some of those things bullet pointed in writing in our handbook. And then the other thing, there's a very kind of generic blanket statement about that we got from the IPA recommendations about accelerated placement. So that has to do with students who are looking to accelerate a grade, and in old school like skipping a grade, or for people who are looking at having their child start kindergarten early, the year before their birth date. And we didn't really have anything in writing about how we handled that. It was just that, the district has a policy in place. But this year, actually, I had both of these situations happen. So I went through what made sense because we didn't really have a step-by-step process. I spoke with Dr. Hoffman. She had been involved in years past when we did have students accelerating grade, what we did and what that looked like. And then I also spoke with a couple other districts or looked at other policies as far as entering early and kind of melded some of those together. And I sat down and met with Dr. Bayham to go through what made sense to me, and then I put that in to be added to our handbook for upcoming years. Any questions?
No. A little bit off topic. I ask this every year. The basketball hoops are taken down again. I mean, we got cameras on those basketball hoops. I mean, the basketball rims.
You mean the nets?
Yeah.
The nets, the rims. That they're taken down again. I'm just curious. I mean, I don't think in my 7 years on the board, we had any damage to those basketball hoops. I just don't understand why the school takes them
I
down.
did not, well, it was not.
I'm not saying you did, I'm just asking.
Right, yeah, I can talk to Mr. Spinola. I'm assuming he would have been the person to take them down. I was not made aware that they were taken down. But if they were damaged in any way, I would hope that he would tell me, because you're right, I can kind of look through and try to find out who.
Right. It just seems like every year when school ends, the rims come down. I mean, I haven't seen any damage. I mean, the nets, I get it. They're
But they're nets.
they're next, right?
Right.
But I just see the rims down again. And
Yeah.
The whole rim of it, so
the
they
rims
can't
are
play
gone. Yeah,
basketball?
Yeah, the rim.
Oh,
And I just think the kids, I don't think there's been
Absolutely,
any
they
problems
should-
there.
They should be able to, I would agree with that, I can look into that.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
and thanks again for the dunking, and sounds like a good end of the year there.
It was great.
Yes.
Were you there, Mr. Ryan?
Dr. Gaham and I ventured down for a while.
So why didn't you
Went
end
for
up
a
in the dunk
casual,
bowl?
you went for a casual walk, didn't
This
you?
wasn't my school, I just wanted to support the children, it was wonderful.
Right.
Dr.
They did a nice job. It was
Dr.
really
Gagan
good.
did get me pretty good because he came up and pushed it from like the side and behind where I really didn't see. He got me pretty good. Got me pretty good.
Oh, you're awesome.
Thank you for having authors come in.
Oh, you're
How
welcome.
fun is that?
It has been really fun. This last author visit that we had was really great. Not only did they do an assembly with the whole school, but we were able to do some lunches with him. So kids wrote letters. Like there were some kids who read every single one of his books and had to sit down and have lunch with him. They were really excited. And then we also had some writers from each classroom sit down and get to do a writing workshop with him.
Wow.
He also was great in all of his presentations. He, was just, he's an author and an illustrator, so he was drawing some things, and he signed everything that he drew. So at the end of the year, with the kids' PBIS coins, they could win one of his drawings with his signature on it, and things like that. And we did have some money left over that I was able to secure some authors for next year.
That's so cool.
And Jim Gill?
Yes.
Those are some celebrities too.
Yes, and he'll be doing a performance during school and after school as well. So.
That's he's fun.
I just want to say, I walked by and I saw the kids playing out there. That was awesome. They were all happy and jumping around.
Oh, the last year's school?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yes, another thing we have marked down, ready to do next year as well.
Oh, cool.
And the police were even there too, with the dunk tank and all, we had multiple police officers there with the
Yeah,
kids
to make sure I was
outside.
safe.
Yeah, so we had, it was good.
You want them in send straight A's? Dunk tank for you. Mr.
I know, right? We can bring this in
That
all.
little junior high thing that they.
I know, right? That was terrible. There was
No,
nothing.
no,
I was so
Myers.
disappointed.
It was set up all day. You certainly could have used
But
it
you
in
never,
more.
that you needed my help.
I'll let you know
Dr.
next
Gaham and I
time.
were-
It looks like a couple day rental for next year
He
then.
does.
Yes, it wasn't all day rental, no worries. No worries.
That's awesome.
All right, thanks.
Oh, you guys are great. Thank you.
There's Dr. Claus just watching.
I know,
Good thing
Like, I'm not saying a word.
She's like, nope, nope, nope. All right, so.
And no bilingual teacher yet.
Oh,
So, we actually have an EL teacher on the docket for today. So we can't hire her as bilingual because she doesn't have the certification. However, we are gonna explore we talked to Gabby about this, right? We're gonna explore the
3 years, right?
yeah, we're gonna talk to her and we're gonna pay for her to take the test where she can start a transitional bilingual certification. And we would then therefore have a bilingual teacher on staff.
Very good.
Yep. And then we have another person who's interested in it, and so we're kind of exploring that option. It's a current employee who is a phenomenal employee at what she does. I'm just really worried about losing her where she's at. So our Yahira, who works at the junior high,
she's done great.
she's very interested in taking the same courses. That's where we're at right now. But we definitely have one ready to go, so it's great, great.
Okay,
Good.
awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. All right.
I agree.
Finance Committee report, Ms. Paulmeyer.
Last month, we just went through the amended budget.
Yep.
The changes, ESSER money.
Yep.
Basically what we just talked about in our
Here.
6:45 hearing meeting.
Absolutely.
And it won't be there next time. That's the money won't be there next.
There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee of yes or no.
I would not come in, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So I need a motion to proceed to executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees.
So,
Second.
Okay, Pappas?
Yes.
Paulmeyer?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yeah.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And we are back, ready? In regular session, okay. I need a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2022 amended school budget as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Ooh, who's gonna take that one?
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to accept the resignation of Dawn Compton as high school girls soccer coach.
So moved.
Second.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Sadly, yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to accept the resignation of Emily Hookstra as high school girls volleyball coach.
So moved.
Second.
Lots of mamas.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Sadly, yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to accept the resignation of Mae Leahy as teacher aide.
So moved.
Second.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to employ Gabrielle Snyder as EL teacher.
So moved.
Second.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
and Flores,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to employ Ann Granisey as high school cross-country coach.
So moved.
Second.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to employ Jonathan Kaporis as high school girls soccer coach.
So moved.
Second.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to employ Kristen Payne as high school volleyball coach.
So moved.
Second.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the non-union and administrative fiscal year 2023 salaries as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Sorry, motion carried.
motion carried. Sorry, I
Yeah,
missed it.
nope, sorry. I need a motion to approve the superintendent fiscal year 2023 per discussion at 3%.
So moved. Second.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
I'm gonna stick with the contract and say no.
Belt,
No.
motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2023 amended school calendar as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion on that, or we're good
I just have a question.
Any question? Yeah.
Just, we used to have like built-in snow days, that were like a couple years back.
So, it's a good question. So the previous superintendent and committee didn't do any of that. Technically speaking, I guess the third could be that. But yeah, that's something that in the future, I think I wouldn't be opposed to doing.
Okay. I mean, as a parent, I feel like I appreciated that,
Yeah,
so there was less confusion at the end of the year with
Yeah.
so many other things going on.
Yeah.
yeah. And again, I've made it very clear, I have a personal policy that I don't like back-to-back e-learning days. I don't think it's good for kids. So if there's 2 days in a row, I tend to give one of them as an old school snow day. So, but yeah.
Did we have a motion?
Well, we did. We
And
have
a second.
And a
Palmer
second?
and Missouri.
Okay.
We just
Yes.
need the roll call now.
Okay.
Okay. Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the junior high school textbook quote for McGraw-Hill in the amount of $41,462.22 as presented.
See the books.
I love new books.
New books, I'm glad to see them. I mean, it has been, it's ongoing, and I continue to love to see this, so
Second.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Pallmeyer.
Yes.
Mr.
yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the special education quote from Haddock Education Technologies in the amount of $14,763.52 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Just for note, these will be reimbursed by the IDEA grant, so.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Pappas,
Yes.
Pallmeyer,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
and Herman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the Action Plumbing quote in the amount of $6,040 to remove and replace a primary trunk line PVC pipe at the elementary school building.
So moved.
Dr. Jamie?
Yeah, so I want to actually provide you guys some photos. Back at the end of May, mid-May.
I got it.
Everybody got one?
Thank you.
So I got a call from Mr. Sunula, mid-May, that we had some problems with some water backing up at the elementary. What you're looking at is a 4-foot
way.
pipe that, if you.
Spewing.
Yeah, it's spewing
It's
liquid,
spewing.
yes.
There you
So,
Got it now.
You see it?
so
I didn't know which way was up. This is up.
this happened to, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It goes, sorry about that. It goes
What's the
like this,
This way.
like this.
Well, either way.
Wires up.
Wires up,
My wire's up.
like that.
Wait, am I?
Yep, you're right.
So, the reason I want to make sure I show you, this has already been fixed. This has already been handled. This is a 4-foot pipe, but this leads into 2 parts. The first, the action item you guys were just asked to address. There's a 100-foot pipe that goes the east-west from the entryway west. Again, cast iron, over 90 years old. This is what happens with cast iron when it gets old. And so the 6,000 one that Ms. Pappas just addressed this is not it. This has already been handled. This has already been fixed by Action Plumbing. However, there's another one of these that goes longer the other direction.
Oh my goodness.
Huh?
It's bad too.
It's not spewing water, but, by the way, this was fixed with duct tape for a month.
Because they're going PVC now, everything's PVC.
Yes, yeah, everything's 4-inch PVC
Yeah.
pipe.
Oh my gosh.
So that is what's on for your action item now, is the 100-foot section that goes east-west, and that's also, Heritage gave us them out. They're the ones that are doing the bathrooms. Their bid was $1,000 more than Action Plumbing, and so that's why we gave the Action Plumbing one. It would have been the change order. Secondly, if you also notice, it runs into the wall. So I actually have a little bit of good news for you. We aren't sure how far this crack goes in, and so Action Plumbing had to cut cast iron, cross their fingers that it didn't bust anything, because if you get anything further, you're now into slab. And if you want to take care of slab, that is where the chorizo.
You're hungry.
Yeah, right? So it's the flooring that we aren't touching at the elementary, and they would actually have to dig this out with a 5-foot section if they wanted to fix anything that's inside the wall. What they can do instead is do what's called relining the pipe. So the good news is, when they cut this and they replace this, it didn't break anything else, and so now we're gonna have a company come out and scope it to find out what kind of damage we have. It could be 2 inches, it could be 2 feet, it could be nothing, but there will be a bid probably next month for relining said pipe as it goes into the concrete slab, because otherwise we're digging up the floors that we're now doing.
Okay.
So,
Right,
That
so
was
when
this-
if they find a leak, there you are.
right?
So, because that pipe is old, you know what it is.
Correct. So they do have a process that they said you could reline it. It makes it just as new, like it's new. It's obviously more expensive than, I think the 6,000 for the 100 feet.
But it's
Probably
cheaper
looking at
than
for
digging out concrete, so
100. Well, I don't know if it's cheaper, but it's a whole
Yeah.
heck. Well, yeah, because
it's gotta be cheaper, I mean,
you think, right?
yeah. I mean, it's,
And so that's coming up as well. So those are the 2 things I wanted to make sure you were aware of in terms of plumbing at the
Okay.
elementary.
And this is what you notated as poor, and that building needs And the building needs?
Yeah, so this is among one of those things that, the facility thing I provided you guys, the needs, yeah. You'll see similar things below the high school.
Okay.
But, I mean, you also have to go into additional plumbing. I mean, you still have galvanized steel pipe feeding your water everywhere, that's why some of the
So
water.
if we wouldn't have been doing the work, we'd never known it was leaking.
Oh, we knew that was leaking, because, you know.
But
after-
the one that we're just bidding on, was discovered with the bathroom, right?
That was discovered when they fixed this. They went under the, because they were down there trying to route all these 4-inch pipes, and as they were walking around, they go, oh, man, that's spewing water. That's not supposed to happen.
Okay, okay.
But,
Good bones, okay.
but again, you know, plumbing's like your house. It's a lot of money, but you don't see it. It's not cosmetic,
It can cause you some damage.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad this is all in the crawl space. I mean, there's not damage to anything other than
Right.
the pipes itself, so,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's what that is, I'm sorry.
all right, thank you.
So Ron, you have the motion.
Second?
Okay. Palmer?
No, he didn't.
Yes. Sorry.
Mazur?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, I need a motion to seal coat asphalt at the elementary in the amount of $5,980 and high school in the amount of $6,300 for a total of $12,280 to Pavement Systems Incorporated of Blue Island, Illinois.
So moved.
Second.
Mazur?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Was that in the,
Yeah, it was in your board packet.
Yep.
So,
Okay, my
so you have,
computer died.
well, you guys are gonna discuss it and then you're gonna fill in the blanks.
Okay, my computer died, I'm sorry. Oh, I can pull it up on the phone.
So before you guys move on to letter, well, this is letter G. In your board packet, you had 2 different quotes. One from, I forget, one was Action Plumbing, it was 14,000 some change. They, because they're a larger conglomerate, can get it done quickly, probably within the month. The other one is
Roger Matman.
Roger.
Matman.
Yeah, for 10,400, so it's $4,000 cheaper. However, he's an individual, and so he said it could take up to 8 weeks to get done. Still done before the start of the school year, but I just wasn't sure if, 8 weeks is close. He probably can get it done. The reason we need this water heater is because our other one is 20 years old and it's starting to fail. And since that's our primary kitchen, we can't have our water heater failing.
It can't be 20 years old.
Well, it's as old as the building, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I apologize.
so if it's 8 weeks, we're
16.
talking,
17?
so if he doesn't,
Round it up.
That is the life.
all right, 8 weeks. That's right before school starts.
Correct. And he says he probably can get it done sooner than that, but he doesn't want to tell us 6 weeks and it'd be 7 weeks. But that's why I presented them both to you.
Here's my question. Do we have confidence that it would be done by, but when talking to them, because
Before school starts, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
before school starts. You feel confident?
Mike and I agree that we definitely think it's gonna get done before school starts.
We don't want it to be 10 weeks.
Correct.
Well, you have to have hot water for hand washing, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be open.
Cleaning, everything.
Are they?
If it was a $1,000 difference, I would say it's a moot point. Go with
Yeah.
the right. $4,000 is significant
Yeah.
on a project like this. I mean, it's
And,
35%
and
difference.
Mike was comfortable with,
Yep.
okay, Roger.
He's actually the original bid we got, and I said, let's double check, let's make sure, let's check Action because they're doing a lot of the other stuff for us, and they came back $4,000 more
Are permit fees included on his?
on. That's Mike.
Okay, because permit and fees not included here, so I guess,
Would we need a permit for a water heater?
I don't think you
think
need it for a
so.
water heater.
You wouldn't,
A
no.
replacement, no.
I'd be
Okay.
surprised.
Like
It's just, the only reason I'm
Yeah.
saying is because I
I've
never
never
done
done
it,
it,
but
yeah.
here
I
says,
think they just,
or line 6.
Standard.
Oh, okay, it's just a normal, okay, yeah, you wouldn't, okay.
we're not doing any kind of construction, so I don't think of it.
So are we comfortable with going with the Roger Matman?
Did they,
I'm comfortable, as long as it's gonna be done and we're not,
Yeah.
it's not gonna interrupt our school here.
Yeah, and if you'd like, at the July board meeting, if we have no movement, I will gladly bring this back up to you, and I'm sure Action Plumbing will still be willing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Okay.
maybe,
If you're comfortable, then
Yeah.
I can do that for us.
Okay.
so has Mike looked at the difference in the actual, because sometimes
Yeah, so Action Plumbing.
the units,
Yeah.
the actual
Water heater?
water heater?
Yes, because originally the Action, so what we have right now is a 100-gallon, but the reason you have a 100-gallon water tank is because back in the day, kids used to shower at school, after basketball practice and everything like that. We don't do that anymore. So originally Action Plumbing gave us a 100-gallon one to replace what we had, and Roger was 50-gallon. So then we went back and said, oh no, this is the scale of what we need from Action Plumbing. So he asked Action Plumbing to give him,
a 50-gallon to make it
Right,
comparable.
no, I'm
Yeah,
I'm saying like because one states a specific brand, one states, it just says state commercial. I mean, it gives a unit number, just because sometimes those are,
it's a commercial water heater is what he asked for.
So we're
okay.
going down from 100 down to a 50.
Yes, because, I mean.
There's a price difference.
No, they're both,
No,
they're
they're
both
both
100%,
50.
they're both 50.
All right.
But we're going with a 50,
Yeah.
It's
it's a
apples to
higher
apples.
replacement.
Got it.
The 100 actually was really close to the 14. The difference is that because it's 100 and 100, the piping doesn't have to change too much. It's basically in and out.
Okay.
Going to a 50, they have to change the piping.
And we don't see this being like a future issue, like are we going to put a kitchen in at the junior high ever, where we're going to need the bigger, you know?
The
I
kitchen
hate
that
to cut
exists-
down for a water heater and then we don't have, it doesn't
Yeah.
do what we need it to do.
The kitchen that exists now, 50 is more than enough for
Okay,
we need for that.
okay.
Because right now, I mean, we're washing dishes as we have to get the temperature for, and then supplying the water to the rest of the building.
Okay.
Same thing we had put in here at the high school a few years ago. It's 50 gallons here. We've never.
I just hate to cut it and then in 5 years,
Oh, I
it's
agree.
inadequate,
Right.
and we're
I
like,
agree.
oh, you know.
Yeah. Okay, all right, then that's what we'll go for.
So the 10-4 from.
10 for Roger Mattman Jr. Okay, so I need a motion to approve the quote from Roger Mattman Jr. Plumbing Incorporated to replace the hot water at the junior high school in the amount of $10,400.
So moved.
Second?
Belt,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Zurich,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2023 board meeting dates, locations, and times as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Flores,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Zurich,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
motion carried.
And note that the next 2 months are at the junior high, correct?
Yes.
Are there any other items?
I want to make the board aware that Monday the district will be recognizing the 12-month employees Juneteenth holiday. So the district will be closed on the 20th.
Great,
Juneteenth.
great, awesome. Any items for July 2023 board meeting? Okay,
Has anybody reached out on the bingo tent this year to you?
no, has anybody reached out to you?
I'm sorry.
Bingo
So-
tent, yes.
Bingo tent.
Did somebody ask
Bingo,
about bingo?
Debbie Franchetti.
The 4th of July?
Yes, we, I just received a email over the weekend, and so Debbie Falchetti is wondering if the board was going to do that. If so, to let her know. She's
Okay.
also looking for high school students, which I sent that on to Steve Sarson
Okay.
for community services and stuff
Okay.
like that.
And that did come out to parents, but we
Okay,
received,
okay.
parents
Yes.
received,
Do you guys mind if I talk to Debbie then to see, or if anybody doesn't wanna do it, just let me know, you don't have to let me know now.
I'll be in Alaska.
Ooh, okay, on the cruise?
Cruise land.
He just didn't
Have
want
you been
to
there?
go. He just didn't want to.
I've been on a cruise.
Yeah, that, you looked it over that
I've
just
been
for
on
bingo.
the Alaska
Okay.
cruise, I haven't been on
The
the
land part.
Denali.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome, enjoy. Well, I'll be in Colorado if my daughter's still winning in her softball tournament, but I am happy to coordinate it, and if I'm home, then I will be here, if she loses. All right, I'll contact everybody and Debbie for that. Any upcoming dates? All right, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.